Yes, dear students, this is lecture number 4, Ancient Greek Drama. So we start with the start of ancient Greek drama or theater. Ancient Greek theater was a mixture of myth, legend, philosophy, social commentary, poetry, dance, music, public participation, and visual splendor. This is the mixture of ancient Greek drama. It began as a religious ceremony. The theater of Dionysus was like all ancient Greek theaters. It was like an open auditorium or theater, and due to the lack of adequate artificial lighting, performances took place during the day because there were no lights. Scenes set at night had to be identified as such by the actors or the chorus. The audience, upon receiving these verbal cues, had to use its imagination to show this is night. The action of a tragedy normally takes place in front of palaces, temples, and other outdoor settings. This seemed natural to the ancient audience because Greek public affairs, whether civic or religious, were conducted out of doors, as was much of Greek private life due to the relatively mild climate of the area. The Athenian theater focused on Dionysus, or the god of, we said this before, the god of fertility, wine, agriculture, and sexuality. Athenian had an annual yearly fertility festival in March with 1 week of public wine drinking and orgies. The religious rite was performed as desirables, and ancient dance and chant to the fertility god, normally performed while drunk outside in bowl like craters. This festival celebrated the birth of the wine god Dionysus and the great grapes that made the wine. This festival was performed yearly at 4 tribal festivals called an Origa. It was also called the Festival of the Wine Jugs. And all Dionysia, as stated by Cohen, the religious rites for these ceremonies were eventually written down in verse form and later became plays. Now we come to what are the themes of the ancient Greek theater? What are the ideas that are discussed during the theme, the ancient Greek theater? The ancient Greek theater consisted of loud music, bright colors, and extensive dancing. Their plays showed violence and daily life, social and ethical plays, war, murder, lust, and betrayal. So these are the themes of ancient Greek theater. What are the parts of a play? An ancient Greek play consists of 3 major parts. The first part is a paralogue, which is a simple speech. Then there was the entrance, which is a parados of the chorus. Finally, there were major episodes, notice odes, which were scenes or acts of the play. A paralogue, parados, and episodes. Ancient Greek stage. What the ancient Greek theater had a distinctive setup. No other theater had the same design. Originally, the theater was made of to all religious ceremonies. There was an altar to the gods, a tithing house, and a tearing house, which is the dressing room. The tithing house and tearing house were both made of wood. Wood is number one. As the theater became more important, the setup began to change from wood to snow. The altar got smaller The teething house became a treasury. The tearing house joined with the skin, which is the setting where actors performed. The tearing house also became an entrance and exit. The theater was constructed of three major parts: skin, orchestra, and theatron. What are the three major parts of the theater? Skin, orchestra, and theatron. Skin. What is skin? Skin was originally a hut, tent, or booth. Skin means tent and refers to a wooden wall having doors and painted to represent a palace, temple, or whatever setting was required. The wall, which eventually became a full-fledged stage building, probably acquired this name because it replaced the original tent. In the beginning, the skin was a palace or a temple. In time, the skin was a stone building used as a changing room for the actors. Later, the play's scenery was painted on the proscenium. In the foreground, in the front, in the entrance, is the orchestra. Now we come to the Deus ex machina. This means the God from the machine. Deus ex machina is often used to refer to the appearance of gods by means of the mechane in tragedy. This phrase also refers to an improbable character or event introduced by an author to resolve a difficult situation. This secondary meaning of Deus ex machina developed from the practice of inferior ancient dramatists who introduce a god at the end of a play in order to untangle a badly snarled plot. The orchestra was the main part of the stage where the chorus was located. During the harvesting season, it was used for threshing low-beating wheat to remove the grain. The orchestra was in front of the proscenium and at the end in the center of the theater. It had the thymele in it, which began as an altar, but altar became the palace, the place for the chorus leader. The chorus leader, the Coryphaeus, Lo Coragos. Stage. Some historians say that the stage was originally a rectangle and then became a circle. Others said that the stage has always been a circle. The stage was against the back wall. It was a narrow, raised platform like a dais. It was called the Logion, and was designed so that the actors could be separated from the chorus. Theatron. The theatron was the auditorium of the Greek theater. It was called theatron because of its shape. At first, spectators were sitting around the orchestra. Later, the Greeks started building the wooden at the beginning from stone later. Theatron, its shape was semicircular, built around the orchestra and divided into two diazoma. The upper and the lower. Entrance, the way the actors entered the stage, also told much about what is going on. For example, in most theaters, there were normally two parados or entrances. If the hypocrites came in from the right parody, then they had just come from a city or port. If they come in from the left parody, then they had just come from the fields or abroad. Mechane. This is a mechanical device, a theoretical machine or crane to which a cable with a harness for an actor was attached. This device allowed an actor portraying a god or goddess to arrive on scene in most realistic way possible from the sky. The mechane deposited the actor on top of the skin so that he a deity could address the human characters from an appropriately higher level. This device was not exclusively limited use by divine characters, but was employed whenever the plot required any character to fly. So this is the end of the lecture, dear students. Thank you very much for listening.